Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome back to DKC3.
Now I know it's been a while since we played this one.
Okay, yeah, because I actually forget where we were. And sorry there wasn't a video this for past little while. But yeah, we would have done a video this actually last time, but the previous quick video that we did, I actually did a little bit late. So I actually wouldn't have actually had the time to record this, so my bad. So last time we did Lake Orangatanga. Now we're heading on to Cremwood Forest.
Okay, I vaguely remember. I think this is the place with the saw.
Barrow Shield
Level.
Bust Up.
I think I remember this level. Dude, it's been a minute since I played this.
Great, we got monkeys
remember.
throwing, I think, they're throwing stuff at us.
Nuts. I always thought it was like nuts or acorns or something.
There are...
Which,
Oh my god, I think I know what they are. Acorns!
yeah. Which, why isn't it a squirrel enemy? Because it's Donkey Kong, everything's gotta be monkeys. And weird bears. Which, I don't even think he ran into. Are they even in this game, or are they just in the GBA version? I don't remember. Because there's like bears, and there's like a trading quest involved with them, and they run a bunch of the shops and stuff, and...
Ooh, TNT barrel.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, bonus
Yeah.
game! Yay!
I'm dynamite. I win the fight. Watch me explode.
Okay, so it's up there. I should have known that was gonna happen. Ooh, thanks for the checkpoint there. Alright. Come here, Dixie. Man, Dixie was so helpful in the last game, it's ridiculous, and I don't mean that sarcastically.
Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I like her a lot, because she helps with that a lot. Dude, that's why they kept her in this, and even in the game she's not in, they kept her mechanic, because, again, you could still hover in returns, because Diddy just stays on your back, and he has a jetpack, so while she's not in that one, the mechanic still is.
And so that's like 64. You have Tiny, and she can literally do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like, even in the games she's not in, they kept her mechanic. That just kind of shows you how much better she makes the game. And again, I just wish they would have just put Donkey instead of Kitty, because Kitty is such an obvious replacement for Donkey Kong. Because Diddy had a different moveset from Donkey Kong, right? He was lighter, faster, and like, you know, a bit more looser feeling. While Diddy was bigger, heavier, Donkey was bigger, heavier, and could kill heavier enemies and buzz through floors and shit. And that's what Kitty does in this. Except instead of being Donkey Kong, it's a whiny baby. And I'm just like...
Why?
I wish... Yeah... I don't hate Kitty, like, he's fine, I guess. It just feels like they just took the moveset of Donkey Kong but combined it with the whiny annoyingness of Baby Mario.
Hey.
Because it's like fucking...
S.
I kinda like this... Ugh, God.
Lost World? No
know.
thanks.
Yeah, well, I don't think this one's as hard, but I'd still say stay away from it. I think we should just, for these, we should just do the vanilla games because they're hard enough as is.
Okay.
I mean, you can try the Lost World in this, because I completely forget what the Lost World even is like in this, but yeah. I forget a lot of this game, actually. Like, I remember very little. Like, I remember bits and pieces. But I remember the first world pretty well. Past that, it's like bits and pieces here and there that pop in. I don't remember a whole lot.
I don't know what, you springy idiots.
Yeah, they'll...
Whoa! How we just managed to avoid those zingers, I will never know.
Yeah, Donkey Kong game. Though, not necessarily another Returns or Tropical Freeze game. Like maybe like another 3D. I think, because really the only 3D platformer I know of that they ever really did was 64.
I think so. Well, I never thought Race was easy.
The only other like 3D action game I could think of is Jungle Beat, and even that I think is like mostly 2D, like it's like 2.5D or something. Again, I might be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that. But so and then like Returns and Tropical Freeze are again 2.5D. So I don't know, man. They never really went back to that. I mean, then again, Rare made it, but like, Nintendo can make good 3D platformers. Look at Mario. I would like to see them take another swing at that, but. Then again, the safe thing to do nowadays is just to make a nostalgia-fueled 2D game like that reminds you of the old ones. I mean, that's kind of the hot thing to do, and that's kind of what every Kirby game is. Which, granted, none of them have been bad. They're just kind of all the same, and like hell, the newest one even looks really good. It's just people are kind of looking it over because another Kirby. That being said, Star Allies.
Star Allies? That game, I must say, that game is just fan service Kirby game, and I love it. In fact,
it looks great.
In fact, I will buy a Switch just for that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm dead serious.
It's a fucking good ass Kirby. Like, I'm not even going to front.
And
it's just people are complaining it's another Kirby, and I'm like, yeah, but is it bad?
And not to mention, like with Wave 2, the new Dream characters that got put in, the amount of reference work they put into them is insane.
Again, there's that video, and like even like not just that, but like even the game design itself. Because again, there's that video where Wooly from Best Friends pointed out in his Kirby lore video that if you look at Void Termina, the final boss, he actually references and uses attacks from pretty much every other Kirby final boss in the series. In one of his forms or another, he goes through like every other Kirby boss and does their attacks in one of his forms in some way or another. Which
and
is
sure, like
cool.
if you pick Adeline and Ribbon, you get straight up 2 levels from Kirby 64. You get the first level in Popstar, and you get the second level in Shiverstar, which is ridiculous.
Oh, so these don't just come with characters, they also give you levels. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they give you updated levels based on the game that they're from.
Yeah, I thought it was just the characters. I didn't know they had levels in with it. That's actually a pretty sweet deal.
So like Daroch, for example, what game is he from? Squeak Squad?
Yeah, Squeak Squad.
Yeah, you'll get a couple of levels from Squeak Squad into it. And same thing with Dark Meta Knights, you get a couple levels from game he's from.
Amazing Mirror.
Yeah, like if you play as them, not as if you play them like with the CPU, like you have to actually pick them, but still.
That's still cool because that's still free levels. It's still like a free level with the character. That's pretty sick because most games would just give you the character and say
the thing is, to top it all off, the DLC is free.
Wait, all of it's free? There's no paid DLC?
Nope.
Okay, that's really cool. I like that. Because it's not... okay. Yeah, I'd definitely pick up Star Allies if I had a Switch, man. Like, it looks like a really solid, fun, fan-servicey Kirby game. Like, I'd play the fuck out of that.
I play for other 64 references.
In that case, why don't you just play 64 again?
Yeah, true.
And also, speaking of 64 references, I think there's just straight up some of the move combos from that are in this. Like there are.
Yeah,
like,
they are. There are.
You
Now you get the curling stone from the game, and I believe you even get the lightning ability too.
You know, curling, that's a Canada thing. How do you feel about curling?
Meh. Like, if you want my honest opinion about it.
Well, yeah, I played mini games of curling in some game, and I thought it was fun. It's ice bowling without pins.
Yeah, all you see is like while the curling stone's going across the ice, is just a bunch of people just going with brooms.
Yeah.
And guys, don't want Photoshop or anything of what I just did, please.
Yeah, but like, I think I get the gist. But yeah, pretty good game. There's a lot of good games on Switch, man. And like, not just, and like, here's the thing: if you missed out on Wii U, you know you didn't. Because guess what? Most of the best Wii U games are on Switch now. There's a few that are missing, like Wonderful 101 is one that like looks really good that I'd like to see on Switch. Because that's a good looking game that I think a lot of people missed out on. And I'd like to see that on Switch. And maybe, I would say, because I'm into SMT, I would say Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying there is some weird shit, and it may or may not kind of fall on its ass near the end.
Oh.
And not just from like mainly gameplay, because the dungeons get really repetitive, and there's a lot of asset reuse. And what is new is kind of annoying. Yeah, dungeon design isn't amazing in that game. And the side stories for the characters, which are usually great and better than the main story, the last couple, man. Particularly a character named Barry's. His has certain connotations that are probably not as weird to Japanese people, but come off as really creepy here to Americans.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can guess where this is going. Japanese game, creepy connotations. There are a couple characters that are little girls. I think you can see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
It gets kind of weird and creepy, and nothing is explicitly said, but there's enough undertones there where it's just like, yeah, this is getting a little too much. So, what? More than any other game in SMT and Fire Emblem, this game is like hard Japanese, made by Japanese, for Japanese, to the point where it didn't even get a dub. And like every main Persona game has gotten a dub. And even the newer SMTs have gotten a dub. Which might as well just be all of them, because I think every SMT after Nocturne has been voiced, and if it's been voiced, it's been dubbed here, so... Because Nocturne didn't have voice acting, it's just text. They could have put voice acting in it, but they just didn't, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there was like time constraints, because the next game after that, like the Digital Devil Saga games, which are built on the same engine of Nocturne, those have voice acting, so I don't know. But, and those also got dubs, but, yeah, this one didn't just because it's so hard Japanese, because it's about the Japanese idol industry and stuff, which, in context of the game, it works a lot better than you think it would, but it's still weird that a crossover between this medieval fantasy night tactics series and this post-apocalyptic / modern day demon summoning series. Let's just have a game all about idols and just have the fucking Fire Emblem characters be their stands. It's weird. It's still weird. Like just how different you got from what you think the game is we got than what you think we probably could have got, because
yeah, that does sound a little bit unusual.
Yeah, because again, you're going from a series that's all about like demon summoning and post-apocalyptic and like heavy religious themes and imagery and all this philosophical shit, and then another series that's all about like battles and war and like medieval times and stuff, which you can do. Like they could have made it work, but you take that and then you just say fuck it, idols, Japan, Vocaloids, waifus, all Japan. And again, it works better in context in game than you think it would, but it's still a really weird choice, and I still don't get it. Because the series in general, like combining, was already kind of a weird idea, but you could have made it work. But the direction they took's just strange, and it's not a bad game. Like honestly, like it looks fun. Like the combat looks great, and it looks like a fun game. The characters are for the most part pretty well written and fine, but it just, the dungeon design and the overall aesthetic doesn't really gel with a lot of people. A lot of people hate it just because a lot of people think they wasted the idea, because it's like, okay, so it's sold like shit. Which isn't the game's fault, because it was on the Wii U, so it was going to sell like shit anyway. Because even in Japan, that thing wasn't fucking selling at all. Even in Japan.
Wow.
But,
and usually things with that, you think they will actually do pretty well.
Nintendo usually has always done well. And Sony's usually always done well. It's Microsoft's the only like main one that's never really pushed over there. Like I think Sega even did well in Japan, but actually Sega did do well, because I think the Dreamcast lasted a lot longer in Japan than it did over here. But yeah, Xbox always sold like shit there. I think Xbox is pretty much lost at this point, because name like one good exclusive that isn't Gears of War or Halo. like, because everything that's on Xbox you can just get on Switch or PS4 now. And PS4 and Switch have better exclusives, so like... Because that's the one thing about Nintendo, is even if the system sucks, they're always going to have their names. Because all they gotta do is pull out a good Metroid, pull out a good Mario, pull out a good Zelda, and they're set. Or throw a good Pokemon game on there, which I did find something out. That Let's Go, Eevee, and all that was not the big next-gen game they were making. We are still getting the big next-gen main series game for Switch in 2019, more than likely.
Oh.
Pokemon, the Let's Go games are just basically a holdover until that happens. It kind of tests the waters of how a Pokemon game on Switch would be. So the mainline next Pokemon games, from what I read, are still being made for Switch. So that still excites me. Which makes me less harsh on Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu Eevee. It makes me a lot less harsh on it. Because it's not the main next big game, it's just a fun project. Or a fun side project they're throwing up just in the meantime. It's like the remake games on the older systems, like how those were just fun remakes, where they tried some new ideas out. That's what this is. It's a fun remake. It's trying some new ideas out, and you know what? More power to them. I think it is cool how you can just like walk around and have every Pokemon out of the ball with you, like you could in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I think that's really cool. They're bringing that back. And I like how you can customize your Pokemon now. Which, it's just Pikachu and Eevee for now, but still. It's still kind of neat. But, and honestly, I'd say I'd like to see like that for every Pokemon, but I think that's asking them much, because how many Pokemon are there currently? Like over 800 of the damn things. Like maybe certain ones, you know, you can have some level of customization, or maybe just universal items you could slap on them. Or something like that. I don't know. But that's, you know, I don't know. I am really curious what a mainline Pokemon game on Switch would be, but as far as other Wii U games, I mean, they've pretty much covered everything now. I mean, Smash is coming. We got Mario Kart's on there. Tropical Freeze is on there. Pretty much every other big Wii U game's on there. So, like, really, other than Wonderful 101, and like, I heard Pikmin 3 was on there and was pretty good. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else. And as far as like other games, there's a lot of good games. I mean, fuck. Like, name a good game that's came out recently. There's probably a Switch version now, so fuck. And I know they got you covered on indies. Because we got Undertale coming to Switch. I think Night in the Woods is going to get a Switch port. I think I remember reading that somewhere. I might be completely wrong, but whatever. Rocket League's on there. Why is it put up on there? I don't know. Point being, a lot of the big indie games are wound up on there. Skullgirls is going on there. Pretty much everything you want. Anything I want. Where's Tekken 7 though? Wii U got a Tekken. Where's Tekken 7 though? I wouldn't even ask if it wasn't for the fact that one of the Wii U launch titles was Tekken Tag 2. And one of the 3DS launch titles was pretty much the 3DS version of Tekken 6, so like... It's not like they haven't done it before, so where's Tekken 7 for
stupid ladybugs?
You know what they'll probably do?
Hmm?
They'll probably wait until all the DLC is out, and then they'll put the Ultimate Edition on Switch.
Maybe.
Right? Like when all the DLC characters are out and everything's out, because apparently Tekken 7 is still having stuff done. Harada did say it's still being worked on, so maybe like on the next edition, or if they do an Ultimate Edition, it'll be on Switch, because that's what I think will happen anyway. Because that's really all that's really missing for me on Switch is all the fighting games, because everything else I'd want is on there. It's really just the fighting games.
Yeah, because I mean the games for me, like Sonic Mania is on Switch, Mecha Power's on Switch. Yeah, who's seen that coming? For me to mention that.
Yeah, and even fighting games, like there is that Street Fighter 2 thing, and then there's like Skullgirls, and like there's fighting games on there. But I'm talking about the big ones, like your like NetherRealm, which I doubt it could happen. Maybe not Mortal Kombat. Well, you know what? Doom's on there, so why not Mortal Kombat? But I don't know, because there hasn't been a Mortal Kombat game since the GameCube or since the Wii. Because I don't remember if it was GameCube or Wii, but there was an MK Armageddon game on one of those systems. I think it may have been Wii. But that was the last Mortal Kombat game.
And there's also Kirby Star Allies. Like, that's a big game that's been
a good
under.
One. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, you know, that's a good one. Doom, fucking Skullgirls. Which, yes, I would buy it again on Switch, because then I get the ultimate. Because that's the better version that has content.
Whoa, my lord! That's a giant spider.
And I would say Persona is also missing, but something tells me that if they do like another, because they've done this for the last 2 games, right, where they do an extra version for a handheld system, like for P3, there was Persona Portable on Vita, and that had like a completely new route, and then like on for P4 they had Golden, which was on Vita. And you know, and like the P5 spin-offs are starting to trickle out. We have Persona Cube 2 coming out, which hasn't been announced for a system, and I think it's going to wind up on Switch. I would not doubt that there might be another version of P5 coming to the Switch, because the Vita's pretty much dead at this point, and Switch is selling well. Atlas has a pretty good relationship with Nintendo and Sega at this point. I honestly couldn't see why there wouldn't be. I really have no idea how putting that game on the Switch would not benefit everybody, because people love P5, it blew the fuck up. People love the Switch. I don't see why not. Like honestly, I'm shocked it hasn't been announced already. And honestly, even if P5 doesn't get on there, SMT5 is going to be on it.
Okay, so that's how we're doing.
So like either way, you're getting a good Mega Tank game. So we'll probably, honestly, we know next to nothing about SMT5, but 4 was good on 3DS, and so like Nocturne was good. So fuck.
Just gotta make sure we don't get hit.
So you're getting a good one. If you want a good Final Fantasy type RPG, there's Octopath Traveler's out now. And yeah, that's more of an old school Final Fantasy, but those are better anyway, fight me.
There's not much to know about Octopath, if I must be honest.
Think old school Final Fantasy, but you can play as like 8 different characters and they each have a different story.
Oh.
Instead, like you pick a character and they have a different class, but instead of like just that being your class, it's all like a different story. And I think they do interconnect. I don't remember. There is a similar game I found out about that I'm also looking at called that came out in the 90s in Japan called Live Alive or Live Alive. It's similar, where it's a game where you pick a different character and they each have a different story, and then at the end they intersect. That's another game that's only came out in Japan, but there is a translation of it done by Aeon Genesis, who's the guy who translated the SMT games. And I've been looking at that one, but that's another good one. And by the way, when I say old school Final Fantasy, I mean 1 through 6, and I'm not saying like everything up to 13 honestly looks pretty damn good. And 15 I honestly haven't seen that much of, so I couldn't really tell you. Because, yeah, like, I've heard pretty much good things about all of them. Like up to 13, like I've heard pretty much good things. I heard 14's a good MMO. So, you know, there you go. Not so much 11, because 11 was the first attempt in an MMO, and I don't think it did well, but 14's good. Yeah, like, and I've only played like 3 and 4, so like I'm not like super familiar with FF or anything. I've only played like 2.
I never played any of them.
But I would like to play more. Like I did like what I played. Like I liked 3 enough. 4 was pretty good. I need to finish that. Now I do plan on playing like 5, 6, 1, and 2, like all the SNES ones. I do plan on playing at some point. I just gotta get around to it. And those I'll probably just do the GBA ports, because fuck it. Because there are GBA ports of all of them. And FF7, I wouldn't mind playing, getting around to, because I know that's the one everyone talks about. 8, I don't know. I tried. 9 looks pretty good.
My eyes got boggled.
I don't know. There's a lot of them, and then, yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Fighting games, because, like, but here's the thing. I think a lot of fighting games are missing to it. Like, I'm sure whatever Capcom's next game they make, they'll probably put it on Switch. If Street Fighter V don't. Wait, is Arcade Edition already coming to the Switch? I don't remember. And then there's that new SNK waifu game that's coming out for Switch.
What was that game called again?
The SNK waifu game?
Yeah.
SNK Heroines. Tag Team Frenzy.
Oh, okay.
SNK being the rival company to Capcom back in the 90s, and they made a lot of fighting games like King of Fighters and shit, and which I've never played. And it's pretty much all the girls from that, and a Rule 34 version of the main character.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Terry Bogard, who is the main character of those games usually, he's like the poster boy. Yeah, they just said fuck it and put a Rule 63 version of him in that game. Because they're just like, fuck it. Though, to be fair, the game this is inspired by, which is SNK Gal Fighters, which was a Neo Geo Pocket game, that had one of the King of Fighter male characters dressed in drag as the final boss. So, this is better? Question mark? Because it's not the character in drag. Like, there's like full giant tits and all. Like, there's no way anything about that's fake. It's not just the character in drag, man. And I'm just like, okay, sure, why not? You're going to go in, you might as well go all in. But yeah, like, in the NetherRealm games, I don't really see getting put on Switch. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see it. It'd be cool if we got like Mortal Kombat 11 or Injustice 2 on there. I think X is too far gone because I think they're already thinking about 11 at this point. But Injustice 2 could possibly line up on there. And honestly, I'd see Injustice over Mortal Kombat. But I don't know. In Street Fighter, again, I could see them putting a port on there eventually.
Let's try again.
In Tekken, I'm just like, why has it not happened yet? Because again, the past two Nintendo systems, a port of the newest Tekken game was the launch title. So I'm just like, where Tekken 7 at? And again, my theory is either there is an individual port in development, or it's going to be, whenever they do the Ultimate Edition, they're going to release the port alongside that for all the other systems. That's what I think they're going to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens. EVO's coming up, so stay tuned for fighting game news, because a lot of fighting game people, which EVO is the big... It's pretty much the Super Bowl for fighting games. It's like the big one where all the like competitive people go.
Oh, sweet.
And that's here lately, a lot of the big fighting game companies like
Hovercraft,
like your Capcoms, your NetherRealms, your Namcos, a lot of your big fighting game people usually announce stuff at EVO. So, or is that already over? I don't remember if it's over or if it's about to happen, but that's when the next fighting game news is probably going to drop. So, waiting to see if anything's on that, because that's really the only thing Switch is missing, is not necessarily good fighting games, because there are good fighting games on it already. Just a lot of the big, heavy-hitting, like, big-name fighting games, like your NetherRealm games and your Capcom games. And watch out, there's even good Capcom games. It's not your, like, Street Fighter 5s or your whatever. But, yeah. No Calibur game announced for Switch? I don't even remember.
Alright, so guys, this Crimwood Forest finished. Okay, where are we going to next? Okay, so it looks like we have a choice of a couple of areas.
Yeah, there's like the factory, and then there's another one. Go to the other one that isn't the factory, because the factory is the fourth world, I believe.
We got Mechanos, and we got Cotton Top Cove.
I think Cotton Top Cove's the next one. I think Mechanos is harder, because it's like, oh wow, that is late.
Alright, so guys, throw a kitty at the like button if you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
I still think you're saying kitty every time you say that.
Later, guys! Yeah, and who would exactly would expect for me to use him as a part of the object I use on the like button?
Because you know I don't like him.
That is the exact reason.